Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we are taking a sledgehammer to those exhausting hustle culture myths you literally see everywhere online. We're going to bypass all the typical cliches and reveal the genuinely unglamorous, totally counterintuitive truths about what actually drives long-term success. So, if you're ready to look past the standard internet advice, let's dive right in.
Section 1. Beyond the Hustle Myth.
You know the drill, right? We're constantly bombarded with generic advice telling us to wake up at 4 a.m. and just grind nonstop. But let's look at the reality behind that glamorous facade. If success were that simple, everyone who worked a 12-hour shift would be a millionaire. That brilliantly illustrates the point, doesn't it? Hard work alone just isn't the magic secret. So today we're handing you a playbook of the actual levers of success, the ones most people honestly only realize after they've already made it.
Section 2. The boring consistency tax.
Okay, so everyone loves to talk about passion, but let's talk about the super unglamorous reality. That intense initial excitement of starting something new, it usually completely expires in about 2 weeks. Notice the stark contrast between day 1 with sky-high excitement and easy tasks, and day 150, which is mostly just boredom and grinding out fundamentals. Success actually belongs to the person who can survive this massive plateau. The real test is executing those deeply unglamorous tasks on day 150 with the exact same precision as day 1. It's a tax you just have to pay.
Section 3. Strategic quitting is a superpower. We've all heard the old cliché that quitters never win. Well, scratch that. Winners actually quit constantly. They just know exactly how to quit the right things. Bad quitting is throwing in the towel on something you genuinely love just because you had one frustrating day. Good quitting, on the other hand, is having the guts to walk away from a dead-end job, a toxic partnership, or a failing strategy to free up your bandwidth. If you don't aggressively cut out that dead weight, you simply won't have the energy to double down on what actually has real upside.
Section 4. Manage energy, not time.
All right, we need to completely shift our paradigm here because traditional time management is actually kind of a complete myth. Think about it. 24. Everyone on Earth gets the exact same 24 hours in a day. So micromanaging your minutes isn't what sets high achievers apart. You literally cannot life hack your way into a 25-hour day.
The real secret actually lies in this number right here, 3 to 4. What high achievers do is manage their cognitive energy. As humans, you honestly only get about 3 to 4 hours of peak, deep-focused brain power every single day. That's it. That is your entire, finite daily allowance of high-level cognitive function.
And because that window is so incredibly finite, you have to fiercely protect those high-energy hours for your most critical work. If you burn your precious peak hours sitting in mind-numbing meetings or just mindlessly answering low-stakes emails, you are completely wasting your absolute best asset.
Section 5. The dual-speed mindset. Now, if you want to build real momentum in the modern world, you have to operate at two completely different, totally paradoxical speeds at the exact same time. On one hand, you need micro-impatience. That means an obsessive urgency about what you can execute right now, today. But simultaneously, you need macro-patience, which is just a total unwavering calm about the next 5 to 10 years. Honestly, most folks get this completely backward. They act super lazy today, yet get really frustrated they aren't rich in 6 months. You gotta flip that. Execute with obsessive speed today, combined with extreme long-term patience. Section 6. The likability multiplier.
You know, in a perfectly merit-based world, raw talent would just win out every single time. But as we all know, the real world operates quite differently. So it begs the question, if talent doesn't guarantee success, what actually does? Because competence, that's really just the baseline. It just gets you in the room. What actually pushes you over the edge are the human elements that make people want to work with you in the first place. We're talking about being reliable, having high emotional intelligence, being super easy to work with, and honestly, just being genuinely kind. These traits will open doors that raw talent alone could never even budge. Why? Because people buy from, promote, and partner with people they actually like and trust. So at the end of the day, your character and attitude act as the ultimate multipliers to your baseline talent.
Section 7. The ultimate takeaway.
So what is the absolute most crucial point you should take away from this entire playbook? Well, it boils down to this. The rules are incredibly basic, but executing them when you are tired, lonely, or bored is the hardest thing you'll ever do. Success isn't about finding some secret magical map that no one else has. It is entirely about having the mental fortitude to execute the basics during the deeply unglamorous moments of your journey.
The playbook is officially in your hands now. But it leaves us with one final massive question. When that initial excitement completely fades away, will you have the discipline to push through the plateau and execute on day 150? When it's boring and when absolutely no one is watching? Because guys, that is where real success is built. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.